The CEO. Weekly review that makes your business smarter. What if your business isn't growing slower? It's just forgetting faster. Most CEOs think they have a growth problem. I think many have a forgetting problem. Every week your business learns something valuable. A customer reveals why they almost didn't buy. A project exposes a bottleneck. A salesperson uncovers a new objection. Your leadership team makes an important decision. Then Monday arrives. The business keeps moving. The learning disappears. And 6 months later, you're having the same conversation again. If that sounds familiar, this video might completely change how you think about weekly reviews. Because the biggest competitive advantage isn't collecting more information. It's remembering more of what you've already learned. Here's something we've noticed. The larger a business becomes, the more information it produces. More reports, more dashboards, more meetings, more KPIs. But something strange happens. Decision quality often doesn't improve at the same rate. In fact, I've sat in enough leadership meetings to see the same pattern again and again. An issue gets discussed. Everyone agrees on a decision. People leave feeling aligned. 6 months later, the same issue comes back wearing a different name. Everyone remembers the problem. Very few people remember why the previous decision was made. That's not an execution problem. That's an organizational memory problem. And it's expensive. Not because you make one bad decision, because you keep paying for the same lesson. That's the hidden cost. Growth isn't slowing because you're missing information. It's slowing because your business is forgetting what it already knows. Here's the shift that changed how we think about leadership. The purpose of a weekly review isn't to review the week. It's to improve next week's decisions. That's a completely different objective. Most reviews answer one question: what happened? Useful, but incomplete. A better question is, what did we learn? Because information doesn't compound. Learning does. Think about it this way. A report tells you sales dropped. That's information. Understanding why sales dropped. That's insight. And deciding what changes because of that insight. That's intelligence. So instead of trying to review everything, reduce the conversation to 5 questions. What changed? What surprised us? What pattern is emerging? What assumption should change? What system should improve? Notice something. None of those questions ask people to report. They ask people to think. That's where better decisions come from. And here's the part most businesses miss. If you don't capture those answers, you'll probably pay to learn them again. Because experience only benefits the people who had it. Organizational memory benefits everyone. That's why I say systems aren't really about efficiency. They're about preserving intelligence. Every checklist, every framework, every operating procedure is simply a lesson that became permanent. The businesses that outperform over time don't necessarily work harder. They learn faster. And more importantly, they remember more. Imagine 2 companies. Both make mistakes. Both discover customer insights. Both improve processes. One moves on. The other captures every lesson, updates its systems, and strengthens its decision-making. For a while, you can't see the difference. Then one company starts making faster decisions, hiring better people, keeping more customers, improving margins. From the outside, it looks like they're simply better operators. Underneath, they're just building on everything they've already learned. That's the identity shift. Stop thinking of yourself as someone who manages activity. Start thinking of yourself as the architect of your company's memory. Because your greatest asset isn't your experience. It's whether your business remembers it after you've moved on. Here's the idea we will leave you with. Every week your business is paying tuition. You're learning through customers, through projects, through mistakes, through wins. The only real question is, are those lessons disappearing? Or are they compounding? The companies that dominate the next decade won't necessarily have the biggest budgets. They'll be the ones that turn learning into systems, systems into intelligence, and intelligence into competitive advantage. If today's video challenged how you think about leadership, let me know in the comments. What's one lesson your business keeps paying to learn?